With that said, let's give a warm welcome to this young man who came here 2002, came and landed in Baltimore, Maryland, start working over at Applebee's, decided he could make more money talking than he could flipping burgers and all that stuff without getting burnt on the stove, and started a large organization. Went to regional vice president like that. Wolfgang was all over the place on all the charts back in those days. His whole group took off, left him for dead. He says, I don't care. He picked himself up, started back over again. He said, I'm going to build it right this time. And I'm telling you, I have so much admiration for this young man. I mean, he's been in the business for 10 years, just celebrated his 10-year anniversary in ACM. He just turned 30 last month on the 6th of March. And I mean, a regional vice president platinum will be the youngest SVP. He's only 30. He just 10 years he's been in the business. Without further ado, let's give it up to the one and only, the great Mr. Shakeel Cooper.
My name is Shakeel Cooper. I'm currently 30 years old. Got started in business, no business background. Was attending college in Baltimore, Maryland, called Morgan State University. Working at Applebee's at that time, when a close friend of mine said, hey, you open to making some money? He said, sure. Came out, checked it out. Found out that one of the senior vice presidents, whose team I ended up being a part of, used to be a 5th grade teacher at the same elementary school that I attended. So when I heard this story about how he left, Baltimore City as a broke 5th grade teacher and became a senior vice president, I said to myself, man, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. So I went out there, got started right on the spot. And from that day, was it October 27, 2013, I just made the decision to go all in with the business. And the last time I worked a job has been November 2013. It was almost 10 years since I haven't had to punch a clock and work for anybody else. And there's nothing wrong with working for anybody else. I just prefer to work for myself, because at the end of the day, if you're going to work hard and, you're going to spend time away from your family and doing all of these things, you might as well build something in the process that will give you the time freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do today. And so far, throughout the opportunity for the past 10 years, I've just been able to live a great life. Wake up when you're finished sleeping, don't really need an alarm clock, be able to spend as much time as you want with your kids, if you have kids, spend more time with your family, just be able to get more out of life instead of just sitting in traffic for 2-3 hours out of the day and just doing something that you don't like, but you just got to pay the bills. And I understand that, but I didn't want to live that life. So I joined a company like ACN, and I just became a student of the game. I just studied the industry, studied the best people. And when I realized that, these people are nobody special, they just have a simple system, and all they do is just the same thing over and over. And once you master that system and you implement it into your business and you do it consistently over a long period of time, you will find yourself start having success. And then you're going to build the business where you went from knowing everyone in your organization to now your organization has their own organization. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen, climbing the ranks, steps to the top of network marketing. So if you're writing down any notes, I suggest you do write this down. Climbing the ranks, steps to the top of the network marketing, right? And at the end of the day, if you got involved in the industry, if you don't want to go to the top, what's the point of doing it? That's how I look at it. What's the point of doing something if you don't plan on going to the top? And I told people when I first got started in business, I'm like, man, I'm going to the top. I don't matter how long it takes. I don't matter what happens throughout the journey. As long as I consistently keep pushing, I will sooner or later get to the top of the company. So if you're taking notes, write this down. Introduction, set clear goals, develop a winning mindset, build a strong network, master the art of sales, and lead by example. So I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to write that down. But while you're writing that down, setting goals is very important. It's the number one thing, because if you don't have any goals set, how are you going to know where you're going to go, right? It's like waking up one day, getting in your car and saying, I want to drive across the country, but you don't have no type of map or anything like that. You just get up and go. It doesn't work like that. You got to have a plan. You got to have set things in position so that you get directly to where you're trying to go. You want to develop the right mindset, because without the right mindset, again, you're just not going to go too far. Because when tough times do come around, you're going to get beat up, right? Building that strong network, right? You ever heard the saying, your network is your network, meaning that You got to get around people that's better than you, people that's smarter than you, people that's richer than you, people that's just better than you. Because what happens is you start to become just like them. You start to take away the good traits from those individuals. You want to master the art of sales. Why? Because we're in sales. If you're not selling those services, then how are you going to get a check cut? There's no check cut without any services being acquired, right? So you have to get good at what? Sales. Because at the end of the day, either you're selling or you're buying. You're one or the other. You're selling or you're buying. I'd rather be the seller. You want to lead by example, right? Why do you want to lead by example? Because if you lead by example, your team is just going to do what you do. So again, I'm going to go right into the information. So hopefully you guys got those notes written down. Introduction, right? Network marketing, again, is a lucrative industry that offers unlimited earning potential. See, the fact that there's unlimited, and I tell people all the time, now it's based upon what you do. Because if someone tells me, listen, man, you have an opportunity to make a limited amount of money, it's just based upon the amount of work that you and your organization do. See, I just wanted to have a chance to make unlimited income potential because at Applebee's, $3.63 an hour, and I was only working, 8 hours a day and then plus tips. So I'm capped out. There's no unlimited earning potential. Even if they told me you can work 20 hours in a day, why would you want to work 20 hours a day, right? It just doesn't make sense. So the fact that it had unlimited earning potential, that's what got me excited because I told myself, man, listen, if I build this big and I just duplicated myself, imagine how much business partners I have coming in. Imagine how many customers. Just imagine there's unlimited. See, I love everything unlimited. Just think about it, right? Who remember when cell phones first came out, right? I'm not talking about the ones that you had in the bag. I'm not that old. But you remember, right? When cell phones came out and then Sprint had on the weekends, it was like free after 9 o'clock or something like that. Who remember when people still had minutes on their phone? And people should be like, man, call me after 7. My minutes are not free. Who remember that, right? And then who remember when all cell phones switched to what? Unlimited. You could talk all day, every day, right? Remember when people had to pay for text messages? And then remember when text messages became unlimited, right? So it was basically the same type of shift that happened in my mindset that happened in the world. Once everything went unlimited, these companies went on to become billion-dollar companies. So I told myself one day I can build a billion-dollar company inside of a billion-trillion-dollar industry, right? So again, however, reaching a top position in a network marketing company, it requires a lot. It requires dedication, hard work, and again, strategic planning. You're not just going to land on top of Mount Everest. It's just not going to happen, right? You have to have dedication. You just got to do it. It is what it is. If you have no dedication, then you're going to give up when it get hard. Again, hard work. We make it look easy, but it's hard work. Because at the end of the day, you don't want anything that's not hard to do because if it's easy, then anybody can do it. So I didn't want to be able to do something that anybody can do, but I did want to do something that everybody can do if they went out there and put in the hard work. And again, just planning out your goals, plan out where you want to go, planning everything out, because if you're not planning things out, then you're never really going to get to where you need to go when you need to get there, right? So in this presentation, we'll discuss the essential steps to reach the top position of a network marketing company like ACN. Successful network marketers who have achieved the highest level of success in the industry all follow a simple system. You're nobody different, right? I do the same thing that Mr. Thomas did. We all follow a simple system. The difference between me and somebody else is how they probably been in the business longer than me. Or they probably just got started recently. That's the only difference, but we all have the simple system in place, right? So again, set clear goals. The first step to reaching your top position in a network marketing company is to set clear and specific goals. Listen, I want you to highlight that. Set clear and specific goals. I want you to know exactly where you need to be. I remember I used to write down all my goals. Team coordinator this day, regional vice president, every position, everything I want to do in the company, I just written it down. I just wrote it down. Listen, I told you this all the time. Instead of me watching TV, I got a vision board with all my goals on there, and I put the actual vision board over the TV. So when I see the TV, it's a vision board on the TV. So I can't even watch TV if I wanted to because the vision board is kind of not glued, but taped to the TV, right? Because that's my goal. See, most people wake up every single day and the first thing they do is what? They turn on the TV. So me, when I woke up, instead of turning on the TV, I turned on my wife and I just looked at the TV. But instead of watching other people go out there and do what they need to do to change their family life, I was watching my goal. So that's the trick. Listen, take a vision board, go to the dollar store, get a vision board, and put it over your TV. Matter of fact, if you have a TV in your bedroom, I would remove it because most of the time, most people, they spend a lot of time watching TV instead of going out there and making things happen. Just think about it. Think about how many hours of the day that you spend watching TV, that you could be reading a book. Where's my favorite book at? I tell people this all the time. Think and Grow Rich. If you don't have this book with you all the time, you know, I don't know what to tell you, right? Because at the end of the day,
where can I get that book from?
Amazon.
Okay.
You can get everything on Amazon, and you can get it overnight too. I was just on Amazon just now. That's why I said that. But you know, you want to write down your goals, right? Your goals should be challenging yet achievable, right? You want to listen. I used to stretch myself. I used to tell people my goals, like, man, I'm gonna be RVP. You know, before I'm this age, people should be like, man, it ain't gonna happen. And I just did it. See, my goals was crazy, but it was achievable because I was willing to do the work. See, you gotta see, listen, your goals gotta scare you. It gotta scare you. And that's why I was able to hit these positions so fast, so fast. People be like, man, I'm like, I told you I was gonna do it because I read it down. I knew where I was going and I was willing to do the work. See, that's the thing right there. You have to be willing to do the work. I didn't need someone to motivate me. Listen, the relationship I have with my upline, my mentors, is probably one of the best relationships because they never had to call me to motivate me. They never had to call me to motivate me. They never had to call me to say, hey, man, no. They just saw that I was out there just doing the work. Doing the work. And what is the work, right? Setting clear goals. Because once you start setting goals, your team is going to start setting goals. The whole purpose of this network marketing industry is to duplicate yourself. See, once you start focusing on, listen, right? In order for me to get to the top of the company, right, I just need thousands of me. But they don't have to be 100% of me. They're going to be 10%. There's going to be some 40%. Listen, but as long as you have a lot of people doing something, every customer add up. So now I have over 2,000 business partners that's bringing in hundreds of customers every single month. And not everybody is going out there and getting a lot of customers. One person might get 3 services. One person might get 20 services. But think about it, right? If you have hundreds of people that's going out there, what if they got just 1 service? What if you had 100 people that got 7 services? Now you just got 700 services that month. Do you understand where I'm going? Meaning that the more that you duplicate yourself, the more money you're going to make. Just think about the music industry, right? There's only a few record labels, right? But how many artists do we know? Country artists, rock artists. Think about all of these artists, right? Everyone's not, you know, going top 10. Everyone's not selling millions of dollars of records, right? But just imagine if they just do something, then everything adds up. So it's the same way in the business, right? So again, you want to write down your goals and review them regularly. Stay focused and stay motivated. You got to see it because if you don't see it, then you're not going to be motivated to keep going, right? Develop a winning mindset, right? Success in network marketing begins with a winning mindset. You must believe in who? Yourself. Yourself. That's the first person. I tell people this all the time. Listen, if somebody tell me they love me and they don't love themselves, they're lying. Because how do you love somebody else and you don't love you? How do you believe in somebody else and you don't even believe in you? So everything starts with who? Self. Don't believe in ACN. Believe that you can get to the top of anything that you do. See, I knew I was going to get to the top because I believed in me since day one. It all starts with you. It all starts with your belief system. Listen, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe you can't do it, you can't do it. That's just what it is. Because if you say you can't do something, your mind is not going to switch to push you to do it. But if you say, man, listen, I'm going to figure this out, guess what? Your mind start working and start thinking about ways how to figure it out. So again, you must believe in yourself, your product, and your company. If you don't believe in a company, why you're even doing it? Listen, ACN been around for 30 years. They've been around as long as I've been on this earth. They actually been on earth longer than me, about 2 months. So again, the fact that a company has been here for 30 years, listen, how many companies you know that's still here 30 years later, right? Not too many, right? So negative thoughts and self-doubt can hold you back from achieving your goals, right? To develop a winning mindset, surround yourself with who? Positive people. Read motivational books, attend training events, visualize your success. Remember, your thoughts become your reality. Listen, you got to put yourself in the environment, you know? let's think about it, right? I told myself, man, I want to be where the $1 million people at. Now, guess what? I want to got an office to be right next door to the $1 million people, right? I want to be next to the money. So if I want to go to the restaurant next door, instead of me going to McDonald's, there's Rolls Royces, there's Bentleys, there's Lamborghinis, there's a whole lot of people. When I go to these restaurants now, this is a trick I've been doing, right? I'm going to share with you, right? So what I do, right? I go to 5-star restaurants, right? I probably told you this before, right? But I get food for my son. So I get the kids' meal. So I go a lot because I don't really like to eat out that much, unless it's special occasion. But I go to 5-star restaurants, 4-star restaurants, almost 5 days out of the week, right? I just get my son food. But what I realized was that you develop a relationship with the people there because they start seeing you there all the time. Sometimes they see people that they might think might be doing DoorDash or something like that because I get the food to go. But no, I'm there all the time. And I get almost the same thing. So after a while, they start to realize, oh man, you can eat out here all the time. And then you get cool with the bartender, right? See, the other day I was at the picking up some food at the restaurant, and I was talking to this lady. And because I got cool with the bartender, and she's a multi-millionaire, her husband is one of the top money earners in network marketing. I'm not going to say who it is, but one of the top money earners in network marketing. They live in Houston, right? And I'm just having a regular conversation with her, and he's having a conversation with me. So basically, she's a regular there. But the way that he's having a conversation with me, I'm sitting next to her. It's like I'm a regular there. And we just started having a conversation. And I'm like, I went on Instagram and I typed in her name. I'm like, this is such and such wife I was just talking to. I didn't know it was his wife. And I'm like, man, I like your shoes. She got on $700 running shoes. I'm just like, looking at the lady, but having a conversation. But because of the relationship I built with the bartender, he was able to plug me in and made me feel like I was a regular there. And she felt comfortable just talking to me. Listen, you never know who you're going to meet, but if you don't put yourself in the places that these people hang around, how are you going to upgrade your network? Instead of going to the bar that all your friends are going to, why not go to the bar where the rich people hang out at? Why not go around where the people that have the things that you want hang out at? Because if you hang around bums, that's who you're going to become. You're going to become a bum. You hang around rich people soon enough, you're going to become just like them. It is what it is. I'm not telling you anything that's brand new. I'm just telling you what I've learned over time. Because when I got out of the bad environment like Baltimore and I came to Houston and I just started hanging and see, I'm like, man, my mind started to expand. Because where I'm from, we wasn't seeing Lamborghinis and mansions and things like that every single day. Listen, to some people, that might not be anything. It is what it is. But for me, that means success. That means that these individuals did something more because all I heard growing up was dirt bikes and police sirens. That's all we hear in Baltimore. But in Houston, I mean, you can go to a neighborhood and it's just like, it's a whole new world. The air smell better. It's security riding around. I mean, you feel safe. I would never feel safe walking my son through the neighborhood and not worrying about anything. When I'm here in Houston, listen, we just be strolling and I feel safe. I feel good. Why? Because I put myself in a different environment. You got to change your environment, right? If you don't change your environment, you're never going to be able to do what? Build a strong network. Again, you got to get around the people that have what you want. Network marketing is all about building relationships. To reach to the top of the company, you need to build a strong relationship of what? Loyal customers and business partners. Again, if you don't have customer retention or you don't have a big network, you want to focus on providing value. Remember, Jim Rohn, he said it again. You get paid for the value that you bring to the marketplace. It's a reason why people at McDonald's only get paid minimum wage. What kind of value are they really bringing to the marketplace? But imagine someone like Elon Musk. Imagine someone like Mark Zuckerberg. Anyone that created a platform or something that have changed the world, and connected people, right? So again, they brought more value. They've been able to have people get a chance to connect with people all across the world, right? So just focus on providing that value to your network by offering them excellent customer service, sharing valuable information, and building trust. The stronger your network, the more opportunities you'll have to grow your business. It's all about getting out there and networking, right? Master the art of sales. Sales is the lifeblood of any network marketing business because at the end of the day, if you're not acquiring any customers, there's no checks being cut. So yes, you can go out there and get a lot of people, but you also have to do what? Acquire customers. This means that understanding that your product and your service, knowing that your target audience, you know, and developing effective sales strategies, meaning that everybody's not going to buy everything. So you want to focus on, okay, if this person needs healthcare, talk to them about healthcare. If you know this person is always traveling, talk to them about traveling. You know this person always complaining about their gas and electricity bill, talk to them about that. You want to target your people and focus on, because everybody don't like everything. Invest in sales training, practice your pitch. Always be willing to learn and adapt. I repeat, always be willing to learn and adapt. You always got to stay a student. No matter what title, all of that, listen, I'm a student. I'm always going to be learning. Why? Because every single day, you should be better than the day before, right? The more confident and the more skills you are in sales, the more success you'll have. Listen, when I speak, to some people, it sounds like I'm being cocky, but it's really just confidence. See, listen, if you don't have any confidence, nobody will follow you. Nobody will follow you. I don't talk like this all day, every day, but when you're doing business, you need to have a backbone. You need to sit up straight. You need to look people in their eyes. You need to shake people's hands. See, these are the things that most people don't do. When you're talking to people, you want to give them your undivided attention. Look them in their eyes, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to pay more attention to what you're saying. See, what I didn't learn these things overnight. I had to continue to do it over and over and over and over. And now I can sell any service in AC, and that's why my organization, we have thousands of services that we get paid on every single month. Why? Because we master the art of sales. We're not just recruiting people and no one's getting customers. If no one's getting customers, checks wouldn't be cut weekly, right? Guess what today is again? It's payday. Who's excited to get paid in a few days? Think about it. It just keep coming. But it's only going to happen if you have a team of people that's going out there acquiring customers and customer getters, right? Lead by example. As network marketers, you are a leader. To reach the top position in your company, you need to lead by example. This means that setting high standards for yourself and your team, being accountable, and demonstrating integrity and professionalism. Listen, integrity and professionalism. You got to be professional. You got to have integrity, right? Because if you don't have any type of integrity, you're going to duplicate a whole bunch of people that don't have integrity or might not want to apply the integrity that they probably do have, right? Because they see what you do and they think, you know what? If that's working for that person, I'm going to keep doing it. So again, just demonstrate integrity and be professional. Be professional. Listen, you can still be you and be professional. You can still be you and be professional. I'm still me. I still got the braids. I still like the glasses. I got, I like being fly. I like being young. I like being hip, but at the same time, I can throw a suit on and look like I own a Fortune 500 company. You got to be adaptable. You got to be able to change. There's some settings that require me to wear the hat, and just be laid back. And then there's some settings that require me to put the suit on, throw a tie on. I switch it up all the time. If you follow me for the past 10 years, I can do the urban look, or I can do the classy look. I can do the business casual look. Listen, whatever I need to do to fit into the room that I'm in, I'm going to do it. You got to be a chameleon. You have to be able to change and adapt. And that's the biggest problem that most people have, is that they're scared to change. They're like, man, I don't want to wear a suit all the time. Listen, people respect you different when you dress sharp. When I go places, dress regular, they treat me like, because I look like everybody else. But also, when I dress sharp, man, they respect people. It's like, I'm the same person, but it's because I present myself. So I tell people all the time, dress the way you want to be addressed. Dress the way you want to be addressed. When I'm dressed up, a lot of times people are like, man, you a lawyer? You this? I'm like, no, I just dress like this. They just look at you different and they respect you different. They treat you different. So again, if you're going to an event, dress the part. If you're going to the park, you won't wear a suit to the park. Because guess what? It's not fit for that environment. So again, you have to adapt to your environment. You have to adapt to your environment. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys are able to get something out of today's presentation. Hopefully you're able to go out there, implement it. And everything is just simple. But again, you got to be consistent with it. I can tell you how to do everything, but if you're not consistent with it, guess what? You're not going to find the results that you're looking for. Again, you're only going to get the results by consistently doing something over a long period of time, and it becomes the culture. It becomes normal. And what you want to have in your business is what? People making money. That's the number one thing. People making money. People making money, guess what? Something is working. You're doing it right. If money and checks are being cut, you're doing something right. If there's no checks being cut throughout your organization, people not getting paid, and you're not doing something right. You got to tweak something, right? That should be the number one goal. Did we get paid this week? Every single week, the goal should be your team should be getting paid. Because if ACN is paying out, I need some of that money to come throughout my organization. If the company is going to cut the check every single week, I just need some of it. I don't need all of it. Just give me some. Just give me some and I'll be good. So I thank you, Mr. Thomas, and I look forward to being back on here next week.